Stroud Times is at Wotton Auction Rooms today, and we've come to see something rather special, and it's in this little box here. Josepth Trinder is Senior Valuer and Director and Auctioneer here at the Auction Rooms and joins me now. Hello, Joseph. Lovely to see you again.
Always lovely to see you, Faye. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming to see us today. Yes, something rather special here within this box. In here is the sort of piece that just frankly makes me... It's the reason why I love what I do for a living. The history and the quality of what I'm about to show you all. It's just wonderful.
I can't wait to see what's in the box. Come on then.
Anticipation.
Come on.
So the pine box is a complete sort of red herring, really. So we'll get this open and see what's inside. So in here we have a wonderfully sort of rare survivor. It's an incredibly early little timepiece, a watch clock, or sometimes known as a clock watch, but a watch clock, made around 1670, 1675 in London.
It's absolutely beautiful. So what can you tell us about it then, Joseph?
Well, first of all, I'll take it out of its, I note, original little leather case here, which in itself is amazing, isn't it? I mean, I can't find my sort of phone case from 2 years ago, and here we are with something from the 1670s with its original case. So, you know, homage to the quality of the case itself for a moment in beautiful sort of tooled leather. I'm not sure whether you can quite see that on the camera, but, you know, with its beautiful little sort of escutcheon and brass lock plate there. But then the star of the show, you know, here we are. So I'll show you first of all, Faye, and then just pan to camera there. Just, you know, the beautiful face of this historic timepiece.
It's absolutely delightful. So is it from Gloucestershire?
It is. So this is consigned to sale from a rather important local family, really. So the Hale family. You may remember we had in a sale here a few weeks ago a beautiful early what was known as a posy ring. So a gold ring set with turquoise, and it was owned by a famous sort of lawyer and sort of political figure of that period, a chap called Matthew Hale. This is consigned to auction by direct descent to the same family. This is the same man's timepiece. So it's as good as it gets, really.
Things like this, you know, kept in the same family for, you know, decades and decades. It must have seen so much history.
Exactly. I mean, that's the point, isn't it? I mean, obviously, it's kind of even more evocative as a timepiece to think of the human sort of stories, the lives, the history that this piece has sat and patiently witnessed. I mean, to me, as a sort of a, history enthusiast and someone that really appreciates, the earlier side of horology in particular, it just doesn't get any better. It's such an evocative, just emotive piece of history.
Not only does it tell the time, but it's also an alarm clock as well, which really blew my mind,
well, exactly. It has an alarm in it sort of, encapsulated within its movement. And, unlike my sort of iPhone playing marimba or whatever the tone is that gets me up in the morning, I think this has a bit more sort of charm and quality to it, frankly. But all of which just sort of case within. I'll just point out, if I may, one of the details that I love more than the sort of intricacy of the movement, which we'll get onto in a second, is just the actual sort of pierced solid silver casework here. So again, I'm sure you can see just coming up on the camera, but we've got essentially a sort of hunting scene here with hounds sort of leaping through the undergrowth, chasing their quarry, a little sort of stag there, and just the quality and the symmetry, the detail of that work, and to think that was sort of done by hand in circa 1670, it's just amazing, isn't it? I think so.
So this beautiful timepiece is coming up for auction at an upcoming sale. What sort of money do you think it will fetch?
Indeed. So it's selling with us in our November sale, the first week of November, and we've got, as we always have at Wotton, a wonderfully eclectic mix of, I think, about 1,500 lots coming up in that sale, to include other timepieces, but everything else from paintings and jewellery, etc. In our early November sale, we've estimated this at £15,000 to £25,000, and I think, frankly, at that level, it's a pretty giddy opportunity for any sort of enthusiast to get stuck in, because these pieces just don't come up that often, and when they're in this condition with this provenance, I can't think of another one that I've seen. So I think it's going to be rather hotly chased.